What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Comedy Controllers. I'm Isaiah,
And I'm Colton.
and today we're going to be doing a Nickelodeon tier list where we're going to be ranking 26 different Nickelodeon shows. Now, we're just doing the cartoons. We're not doing the live action. We're going to do the live action later on in a separate category. And we're also not doing the Ninja Turtles on this list because the only two cartoons that got put on Nickelodeon that are actually by Nickelodeon is the 2012 series and the 2018 Raw series. So we're going to put those in a separate video too with the other series that came out over the years and do those in a tier list or a ranking or something like that. But anyways, let's get into it. And as always, leave comments in the comment section below. Let us know if you agree with the tier list or what you would have done differently. And also, if we missed your favorite show and it didn't make the list, let us know too. Let's get into it, shall we, Cole?
I'm ready.
First up, we got Doug. How much of Doug have you watched?
I don't know if I've watched Doug. All these are. It's been so long since I've watched them. I can't remember half the ones I've watched.
Doug, Ren and Stimpy, and Rugrats was the first three that ever came out on Nickelodeon back in the 90s.
I'll let you rate Doug.
I'm gonna rate Doug as I'm gonna rate it as a banger, and the reason why I'm rating Doug as a banger is because the first three seasons was on Nickelodeon, and then Disney bought the rights to Doug, and the Disney Doug wasn't as good as the Nickelodeon Doug, but Nickelodeon Doug was pretty good. But there's some other stuff on this list that I would rate higher than it, so I'm not gonna give it goated. I'm just gonna give it a banger. Next up, Ren and Stimpy. How much of Ren and Stimpy have you watched?
I think I watched a little.
Watched a little.
Uh-huh.
I enjoy Ren and Stimpy. I would say it's in the same caliber as Doug. I mean,
Yeah,
they both
that's what
came
I
out
was
around the
thinking.
same time. I would say I like it a little bit more than Doug because I like the jokes in Ren and Stimpy, so I'm gonna put it above Doug. Next up, Rugrats.
I'd say
Now-
Rugrats is goated, personally.
I'd say Rugrats is goated too. I'd even go as far as to say Rugrats is super goated, dude. Because Rugrats, it paved the way for all these other Nickelodeon shows, just like Ren and Stimpy and Doug.
Mm-hmm.
But Rugrats has one thing that stands out from Ren and Stimpy and Doug. It's more iconic. So it's either goated or super goated for me. What do you say?
I'd say goated for now.
Goated for now? Okay. The Angry Beavers, Daggett and Norbert. Have you watched them?
I don't think so.
I remember I watched a few episodes of it. I like the Angry Beavers. I'd say that the Angry Beavers is a banger, dude. I'd say it's a banger, and I like Doug a little bit more than Angry Beavers, so I'm gonna put it behind Doug. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, Rocco's Modern Life. You ever watched Rocco?
It sounds so familiar. It's just so hard to remember if I've watched these.
He's the wallaby that lives in O-Town.
I'm not sure.
He's from Australia. He's a wallaby. He lives in O-Town. Got a dog named Spunky. For me, Rocco is definitely goated. What do you think, though?
We can put it in that. That's fine with me.
It's definitely not going above Rugrats. It's goated, though. It's goated. All Real Monsters. You ever watch All Real Monsters?
No.
All Real Monsters, it's a little weird, but it's three monsters, Ickis, Oblina, and Crumb. They got some pretty weird designs. You'll have to look at it. It's a pretty good show, though. I'd say that it's decent, though. I wouldn't put it in banger, necessarily.
Uh-huh.
I'd say it's decent. Next up, Cat Dog.
I'd say Cat Dog is a banger, personally.
I like Cat Dog. I'd say Cat Dog's a banger, too. I think it's better than Ren and Stimpy. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put Cat Dog at the beginning of banger. There we go. Okay. Cat Scratch. You was telling me that you never watched Cat Scratch. I've watched Cat Scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, for me, Cat Scratch is personally a banger. But for me personally, Cat Scratch is a banger, but it's not above Angry Beavers.
Okay.
So that's my personal preference. Rocket Power. Rocket Power is definitely goated, and I would even say that it's super go. Actually, I want to do this real quick. I'd say that Rugrats is actually super goated,
Mm-hmm.
and Rocket Power would be at the beginning of goated. Now,
Okay.
Rocket Power has the caliber to be super goated, but there's just something nostalgic about Rugrats.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be super goated.
Yeah, everybody knows what
It has to
Rugrats
be.
is.
And Rocket Power, the same guys made it classy. Chupo, same guys made Rocket Power, Rugrats, Wild Thornberries, which is coming up here in a minute. They made all those shows. But Rocket Power is definitely goated, dude, and it could be super goated. I mean, if there's something that is behind it, and we want to put it up in super goated, we can later.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really good. Hey Arnold, how much of Hey Arnold?
I watched a little of it. I'd say it's a, maybe a banger. I'd say near
Maybe
the
a
end of
banger
that.
near the end of Banger. Would you say behind Cat Dog and Ren and Stimpy? Where would you place it?
I'd say, for me personally, behind Ren and Stimpy because where I haven't watched the other ones.
Copy. Sounds good. The Wild Thornberries. Just talking about it. I'd say the Wild Thornberries is it's a banger. It could be goated, but I'd say it's a banger. And I'd honestly say that it's probably behind Hey Arnold, right in front of Doug.
All right.
That's my opinion. Sanjay and Craig. It kind of cut off the name, but it's supposed to be Sanjay and Craig. You watch Sanjay and Craig?
I watched some of it. I'd say it's decent because it's sort of weird how it's set up. Like not like the art style or anything, just like the scenes and everything. Because it almost doesn't feel like fully complete sometimes.
Yeah, I'd probably put it. It's a good show. It's decent.
Honestly,
I'd
put it
probably
in
put
enjoyable.
it enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. Yeah, I even said it was enjoyable before we started getting decent.
Mm-hmm.
Back at the Barnyard, the show that came out right after the movie came out. I like Back at the Barnyard, and I like that movie, but we're not basing it off the movie. We're basing it off the show. The movie's its own caliber, and we're going to do that in a different tier list
Mm-hmm.
with all the other Nickelodeon movies. So, Back at the Barnyard, I'm gonna say it's goated, man. I'm gonna say it's goated for me personally.
I don't
How
think
do
I
you feel
watched
about?
much of it. I know I've watched it, but I don't think I watched too much of it. I don't think.
I'm
I
gonna
know
say
the
it's
movies,
goated to me.
like the movies for sure, super goated, but I'm not sure about the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I agree with you. The movie would be super goated, and we probably put it there when we make that tier list. But the show coming off the back end of the movie, I'd say it kind of stepped down a little bit, but it still kind of kept the same elements.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, for me, it's going to be goated, and I'm going to put it at the end of goated. El Tigre and the Adventures of Manny Rivera. You ever watch this?
No,
You never watched El Tigre?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, El Tigre is super, super good. You got to watch it. El Tigre, I'd have to say El Tigre is goated, but if you want to put it in banger weekend, it's
We
up
can
to
put it
you.
in goated.
Yeah. I'm actually going to put El Tigre. I'm going to put it above Rocco. I'm going to put it behind Rocket Power, though.
Just by the name, it's goated.
Yeah. Breadwinners. This one's a weird one.
I'd say it's
I-
watchable.
I'd say it's watchable. You could like watch the first episode, the pilot of it, and it'd be alright. So I agree with that. Fanboy and Chum Chum. For me, Fanboy and Chum Chum would either be a banger or decent. What do you think?
I was leaning more towards decent.
More towards decent. Okay. I'm
Or at
actually
the
gonna put
end
it.
of banger.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we're gonna put it at the end of banger. We'll put it at the end of banger,
Because
bro.
it's not bad.
Right. I enjoy it. Puff Puppy. A Butch Hartman show. We got all of the Butch Hartman shows in here except for Winston as a Beast, I think. But Tough Puppy. You ever watch Tough Puppy?
It sounds so familiar.
Dudley Puppy, Tough Agent. That's where the name comes in, Tough Puppy.
I don't know much about it.
I think you've watched it. I think you have.
I mean, like, I feel like I have, I just can't remember. But what would you rate it?
I'd honestly rate it as a banger, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
I don't know where I'd put it at though as a banger. I because it's recent, but it's not too recent. Um, I enjoy it more than Fanboy and Chum Chum, and I I'd honestly probably put it in between Hey Arnold and Wild Thornberries. That's where I'm gonna put it. Because I'd watch an episode of Hey Arnold or an episode of Ren and Stimpy or an episode of Cat Dog before Tough Puppy, but I'd watch an episode of Tough Puppy before I would any of the rest of these. Not saying there's anything wrong with them. I'd still watch episodes of each one. They're all bangers, but I'd watch an episode of Tough Puppy first, in my opinion. My Life as a Teenage Robot. For me, it's super goated.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
It's good. For me, it's super goated, if I'm being honest. Jenny Wakeman, XJ9. That's who the main character is. But if you want, we can put it in goated, and it'd be at the beginning of goated. What do you think?
That's fine with me.
The Loud House. You ever watched The Loud House?
I didn't watch a lot of it, but I didn't care much for it whenever I watched it.
Yeah.
I'd say it's, I guess, decent or enjoyable for me, personally.
I know a lot of people like The Loud House. I like it. I haven't watched much of it here recently. I watched some of the, like season 1, season 2, stuff like that. So I'll put it at the beginning of decent, going off of what you said and what I think. Avatar: The Last Airbender, super goated.
Yeah,
super goated all the way. Super goated all the way. And I'm going to put it in front of Rugrats. It has to go in front of Rugrats. Something has to beat Rugrats, and it is definitely Avatar.
I've watched that my whole life. Like on and off, like whenever it would come on TV and stuff before I had all these streaming services and everything.
Yeah, it was so good, dude. The Legend of Korra. I would say the Legend of... I was gonna say, I think the Legend of Korra is also super goated. But now the thing is, I enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it as much as Avatar: The Last Airbender. So for that reason, I'd have to say for now it's gonna have to go at the end of super goated for me.
I would put it above Rugrats.
I don't know, dude. I think a lot of people would kind of agree with me, but
is it sort of like underground?
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's good. I like the Legends of Korra. I do. And it is definitely super goated. But Rugrats just has that nostalgia, and I don't think Korra could beat Rugrats, but Avatar: The Last Airbender definitely can beat Rugrats.
Okay, I can settle with that.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's still super goated. I know how much you love this show, dude. You really love that show.
I do.
Invader Zim. Invader Zim, for me, personally, super goated.
I'm fine with that. I don't think I've ever watched it.
Definitely super goated.
All these sound so familiar, but I just can't remember them.
I'd have to say it's going in front of Rugrats, but behind Avatar.
That good?
It's good. It is literally that good. Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. Super goated for me. Super goated for me.
Rugrats.
I'm gonna actually do this. I'm gonna put it above Rugrats and Invader Zim. I would even go as far as to put it above Avatar, if I'm being honest.
Because he's like that story though.
Yeah, but you gotta think too. Like Jimmy Neutron's so iconic too. He's one of the big four. Him, Danny, Timmy, and SpongeBob, the ones that was in the Nicktoons Unite games and everything. Mm-hmm. They're pretty much the big four Nickelodeon. They was for the longest time. And ironically enough, these four was the ones that was saved for last. They just got put last on the list. I don't know how that happened, but they did. So, we'll put it behind Avatar though. It's good, but I do agree Avatar has some good stories.
These last three are definitely going in super good.
Definitely, yeah. It's another one of those situations like we did with the Cartoon Network tier list. Gumball, Adventure Time, and Regular Show, they also ended up at the end of the list too. Yeah. And they was also all three super good. It's just a matter of where we ranked them like we did with the last one. Yeah. Because these are definitely number 3, number 2, and number 1 in my opinion. And you could probably guess who's going to take the number 1 crown if you didn't see my shirt already. So, spoiler alert. SpongeBob.
Go ahead and put that one up in front.
Yeah. You know how I feel about the sponge, my guy. Now it's between Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom. Who gets second?
Danny Phantom for sure, in my opinion.
That sounds good to me too. And then Fairly Odd Parents gets third. Yeah, I feel good with that. I definitely feel good with that. But anyways, guys, that was our tier list. That's what we ranked the shows. We got a lot in Super Goated, a lot in Goated, and a lot in Banger. We didn't have any in the Just Don't Watch category, which is really good. So Nickelodeon's doing something right. We had one on the Just Don't Watch in the Cartoon Network one, didn't we? But that was Uncle Grandpa, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Was it?
I think we did. If we go back and watch that video, I'm pretty sure it was Uncle Grandpa that we put in the Just Don't Watch category. Because I remember we said something about it was like a fever dream.
Yeah.
But sorry to ramble on and get off topic, guys. But this is our list. Let us know what you think of it. Let us know if you like it. Let us know what you agree or disagree with. Let us know if your favorite show didn't make the list, or what your ranking is. And you can let us know all that in the comments down below. And be sure, if you like this video, to leave a like and subscribe. That way you can always view more of our content. And this has been another episode of the Comedy Controllers. And I'm Isaiah.
And I'm Colton.
And we'll see y'all next time.